Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're embarking on a very deliberate, very profound journey together. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's just slow things down for a minute. We are going to explore a core, ancient Hindu assertion that fundamentally challenges how we see ourselves. And the assertion is this: our deepest problem in life is not just that life is inherently hard or that we suffer. No, our deepest problem is actually a massive case of mistaken identity.
You know that feeling when you finally hit a major goal? Maybe you landed the dream job, bought the house, or found the relationship you always wanted. And yet, after that initial high fades away, you feel this weird, lingering sense of emptiness. You might look around at all your success and think exactly like Aldous Huxley once asked, is this all? Well, that quiet, persistent sense of dissatisfaction is exactly where our exploration begins today.
Here's a quick roadmap of our meditative journey. We'll start with the deepest problem, then look at what we really want, compare the ego self to the deeper self, explore how Atman relates to Brahman, and finally, walk the path of knowledge. All right, kicking things off with part 1, the deepest problem, mistaken identity.
So Hinduism proposes that our fundamental struggle isn't because the universe is out to get us. It's because we fundamentally misunderstand who we actually are. Normally, we try to fix this dissatisfaction by walking what's called the path of desire. We go out and seek pleasure, wealth, fame, power, and duty. And listen, there is absolutely nothing wrong with these pursuits. Go after them. But eventually, you'll find they are finite, they're competitive, and ultimately, you can never get enough of what you don't really want in the first place.
The ancient texts use this beautiful metaphor of a lamp that is just completely covered in dust. The light is in there. There's a brilliant, infinite nature inside of us, but it's buried under this thick, impenetrable mass of everyday distractions and false assumptions. We get so hyper-focused on the dust, on all our worldly toys and daily achievements, that we literally forget the light underneath. Moving into part 2, what we really want, beyond the finite. Think about what happens when those worldly toys finally lose their charm. What is it that we are actually searching for? The staggering conclusion here is that we don't just want a little more money or a few more years tacked onto our life or some fleeting moment of happiness. We want liberation. We want moksha. Fundamentally, we crave infinite being, to exist without end. We crave infinite knowledge, to truly grasp the point of everything. And we crave infinite joy, to be completely free from frustration and boredom. Bottom line, we want the infinite. Which brings us to section 3. The ego self versus the deeper self, the iceberg reveal.
If we truly want the infinite, why in the world do we feel so incredibly finite? Well, we have to peel back the layers of our own identity. Think of it like a giant iceberg. Up on the surface, you have your everyday ego self. That's your personality, your memories, your roles in society. It's entirely transient and strictly finite. It can get hurt, and yes, it will eventually die. But deep, deep beneath that surface is the deeper self. This is eternal. It is the infinite witness that simply observes the changes of the ego without ever being touched by them. Life feels so incredibly hard because we completely identify with that fragile ego on the surface, and we totally forget the invincible witness underneath.
Now, this infinite deeper self has a specific name. It's the Atman. It is the hidden infinite center of every single life, an unexhausted reservoir of being that never dies. And honestly, the most beautiful part of this teaching is that the Atman isn't something you have to go out into the world and earn. It is not something you can buy. It is something you already possess, right now, sitting perfectly whole at the very core of who you are. Let's look at part 4, how Atman relates to Brahman, the cosmic connection. So how exactly does this hidden inner center relate to the vast universe outside of you? To answer that, we have to define Brahman. Brahman is the Godhead. It is the ultimate, infinite, and divine reality of the entire universe. It's the cosmic source of all that is, all that was, and all that ever will be. Just let the sheer vastness of that sit in your mind for a second. And right here is where we hit the most profound realization of this entire philosophy. Atman equals Brahman. That deepest part of you, the Atman, is fundamentally, essentially, identical to the divine universe itself. The infinite well inside of you is drawing from the exact same waters as the infinite ocean of existence, meaning your deepest self is entirely, inseparably one with the ultimate reality of the cosmos. You aren't just a drop in the ocean, you are literally the entire ocean in a drop. All right, our final section, part 5, the path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga.
If this mind-bending connection is actually true, how do we wake up to it? Well, Jnana Yoga is a path specifically designed for reflective thinkers to gently pry that true self away from our everyday surface-level identifications. Step 1 is learning, listening to the teachings and grasping the concept that your essential being is infinite. Step 2 is intensive thinking, prolonged reflection to turn that abstract concept into a lived reality. And step 3 is shifting self-identification, actively changing how you view yourself as you go about your daily life. To help make this shift, there's a really wonderful metaphor. Think of an actor wearing a mask. Fun fact, the word personality actually comes from the Latin word persona, which literally meant the mask an actor wore on stage. So the mask is your everyday ego. It plays its role perfectly. But the real tragedy is that we are like actors who have completely forgotten we're wearing a mask. We get totally lost in our transient daily roles, forgetting the hidden, anonymous, infinite actor standing safely behind it all. There's another incredibly powerful way to visualize this separation, and it's the metaphor of the chariot. Think of your physical body as a chariot. The horses pulling it along are your senses, constantly reacting to the world. The reins controlling those horses are your mind. But who's the master sitting in the back of the chariot? That master is the Atman, the omniscient self. The master doesn't pull the reins, and the master doesn't run on the road. The master is simply serenely observing the journey. The master is in the chariot for sure, but is not the chariot. Which leads us to the final step of shifting your identification. A practitioner of Jnana Yoga learns to view their everyday ego entirely in the third person. When something goes wrong, instead of saying, "I am angry," they might step back and think, "There is anger happening to this body right now." They become a detached, joyful witness to their own life. It's like the sun that lights up a room but isn't affected by whatever drama happens inside it. You literally learn to watch your finite life unfold from the absolute safety of your infinite nature. As we bring this explainer to a close, I want to leave you with one final, provocative thought. As you go about your day today, as you talk to your friends, as you do your work, and as you inevitably feel the ups and downs of your daily ego, ask yourself, who is the true witness behind all of your actions? Who is that infinite presence quietly watching from behind the mask? Think about it, and let that question echo long after this explainer is over.